Magandang araw sa inyong lahat.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening po sa lahat ng nakikinig po.
Hello to all our viewers from here and around the world.
Ang napakaganda na ating talintiman ngayong hapon ito.
Well, friends,
Welcome to the Bridges Show. I'm very happy to be here, and I think it should be a really interesting and fun topic.
What are the things you want to learn? So I want to take it from there and then I listen to them.
meron silang mga mitiin upang maging makabuluhan pa ang pagiging Katoliko, lalong-lalo na sa susunod na henerasyon.
Sa akin po, sa mga kabataan, use competence as a basis.
In real life, hindi naman talaga tayo tumitigil sa buhay. Kailangan talaga tuloy lang ang buhay kahit anong challenges natin.
Palawan, Cebu, Baguio City, Attorney Dwight, pati La Union. So we are saying that revenge travel is real.
Mas kailangan natin na i-share ang hiwaga ng sinin sa mga tao.
Food and health should go hand in hand. So yan ang gusto namin paratingin sa gobyerno. I-prioritize ang food at i-prioritize ang health.
If you will just devote your life teaching, hindi ka yayaman sa pera, pero yayaman ka sa tao.
Siyempre, ang pinakamaganda po naman sa ating universidad ay yung talagang natuturuan po tayo kung paano maging mabuting tao.
Happy anniversary to Bridges. Here at Bridges, we build bridges of faith, bridges of hope, and bridges of love.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to our viewers from around the world. Welcome to this episode of Bridges. First of all, thank you very much to the President of the UST Alumni Association, Dr. Evelyn Songco, the producer of Bridges, Madam Ida Chonco, for inviting the UST Pilots and Artlets Alumni Association to be part of this day's episode. We will be tackling an important issue. As we all know, financial inclusion became very prominent sa gitna ng pandemya. Ngayon, marami ng kababayan natin ang na-appreciate ang online banking, ang tinatawag na diskarte, etc. At nararapat lamang natin na palawagin pa ang ating kaalaman patungkol sa ating financial inclusion. Huwag matakot sa financial technology at yan ay ating tatalakayin sa oras na ito. Mga kaibigan, I am Henry Tenedero, the Dean of Life Skills for Life Success ng St. Clair College and the Chairman of the UST Alumni Association. And joining me as co-host for this particular episode is no other than Joanna Marie Manrique, a fresh economics graduate of the UST Faculty of Arts and Letters and currently undertaking her World Youth Alliance course with UN, and she'll be finishing in March of this year. Joanna, please greet our viewers.
Thank you, Dean Henry, for that very warm introduction. Hello, everyone. Greeting to all the online viewers that we have on our show, whether you are at home or at work. Thank you for taking the time to watch and welcome to the UST Alumni Association series of webinars that provides to MASHN alumni that opportunity to share their expertise and experiences on various topics. We all welcome you to Bridges Season 3.
Okay, very nice. So for this particular episode, we have invited one of the, I would say, the foremost gurus in terms of financial technology, fintech particularly. He has traveled far and wide and he is now considered one of the best sa Pilipinas. Hindi lang sa Pilipinas, kundi sa Asia at kinikilala at respeto sa larangan ng financial technology. Why don't we introduce him right away, Joanna?
Yes, now introducing our speaker. He is the Chief Innovation and Inclusion Officer and Executive Vice President of Rizal Commercial Banking Corporation, or RCBC. He is among the few subject matter experts, thought leaders, and practitioners in inclusive digital finance. He has over 20 solid years of experience in the fields of banking, payments, and telecommunication industries. He started the fintech business in the PLDT Group in 2013 with consumer-centric and demand-driven digital financial innovations. So far, it merited more than 30 global and regional accolades, including being cited as one of Asia's 100 fintech leaders, the first and only Filipino to be included in this list. Grabe. He earned 2 graduate degrees, a master's in public administration with magna cum laude honors, and a master's in national security administration with the distinction of being its youngest graduate. He graduated with his bachelor degree at the University of Santo Tomas, majoring in political science, batch 2000. A true pride of our Faculty of Arts and Letters, let us give the warmest welcome to Mr. Lito Villanueva.
Yeah, hey,
Thank
welcome,
you
Lito.
so much.
Yan.
Thank you, Joanna, for that very generous introduction, and of course to my idol, my I could say na one of my mentors, of course si Dean Henry, na noong unang mga panahon mahaba pa yung bangs niya. Ano sabihin yung mga panahong yon habang totus tuos doon nandun si Pope John Paul II sa UST campus. So that was way back, I think 1982. Tama ba? Tama ba 1982 or ano pa yon? That is 2 visits or 3 visits si Pope John Paul II. So again, thank you so much for having me. It is an honor and privilege to be part of this, online event. Yes, thank you.
Okay, of course, Lito, these are equally our pleasure to have you grace this particular episode showcasing successful AB alumni. Lito, you have traveled far and wide. You have made an indelible mark in the field of financial technology. Please walk us through. Ano naging buhay after college? You have served twice as president of the AB Student Council. I think only 2 have done that feat. So what's it like to be in the corporate world, bringing that particular value of leadership given to us by the Thomasian kind of education?
I think, Henry and Joanna, I would always be grateful, to the, to what, to those years that I was in UST, in AB, particularly, the values that we're able to, to imbibe and to embrace because of that Thomasian quality of education. And of course, those attributes, those qualities, or those, qualities were actually part of who I am right now, and really was indeed part of that journey, from the time that I graduated from college in 1992 up to the time that I also, took my master's degree in UST Graduate School, and also my other graduate degree at the National Defense College of the Philippines. So in that journey na, alam mo naman, di ba, right after graduation, talagang you'll be part of that workforce already. And that is where the real challenge begins, when you really have to get your job, and you have to be good in what you're doing. And I think yun yung gratefulness, and that again, always say thank you, to all the the faculty members, the administration, and practically the entire community of UST na talagang nagbigay humulma nung personalidad, na kung sino ako ngayon. So that's why napakalaking contribution, na nag-shape talaga nung character ng tao, di ba? So I think that became my passport towards achieving whatever I have right now, having to deal with quite a number of people, having to achieve those those things, and be a leader in our industry, specifically in the fintech world, not only in the Philippines but globally. So I think those are the things na dapat lahat ng mga Tomasino talagang dapat tanawin talaga ng pagbibigay pugay, sa ating alma mater. No? So I think, yun nga sasabi ko sa iyo, Henry, before, di ba, na that sense of pride amongst Tomasians dapat talagang ma-inculcate, lalo pang mag-alab, no, sa ating mga damdamin, na talagang dapat na, dahil kung nasan tayo ngayon, dahil yan sa edukasyon na nakuha natin, no, na dito sa may Espanya, Manila. So
Yeah.
talagang yun talaga yung nagbibigay pugay ako, no. So that's why when Ma'am Song ko asked me to be part of this show, no, and na mag-guest, ay talagang sabi ko, talagang hindi ako magpapahindi dahil it is really an honor and privilege to be part of this show. So again, isa lang to sa napaka-liit na bagay na para pagbibigay, again, pugay, no, o pagpapasalamat sa mga na ibahagi rin sa akin ng US.
Very good. Joanna?
Yeah, so I think thank you for that answer. The UST really molded us into being this bona fide Tomasian and bona fide humanitarian in the real world outside the university. And it is just that we give that back to our alma mater. The pride of being a Tomasian, the gratefulness really ignites in every alumni. So, Sir Lito, let's talk more about leadership. Though first and foremost, you have built empowered different teams with you throughout your journey. Now, what can you say that the most important values you demonstrated as a leader?
Again, in leadership, no, I think first and foremost is being transformational and having that humility, no, as always. And again, the training that we had in UST is, again, yung servant leadership, diba? And that's something that we have as Tomasians na I think talagang, I would say, a sterling quality, no, that really stands out, no, from the rest. Kasi when you talk about leadership, it's really, again, leadership by example, diba? And you really have to be the model, no? So dapat ikaw yung nagbibigay ng magandang halimbawa sa lahat, diba? And I think that leadership training or skills that I was able to imbibe or to get from UST, started when I was the student council president of AD, for that was the first in history in the Faculty of Arts and Letters in UST that there was a third year college student who really challenged the fourth year college candidates as well running for presidency of the UST Student Council. Parang that was the first time na talagang a third year student versus 3 fourth year students, no. So that was really something, no. And of course I would say with having that training as a student leader, and pa yun, that was the time when we had that was the time when the US military bases were actually were mandated or were ordered to leave the country, no. So because of the decision of the Senate at that time, no. And the thing is that talagang, and also of course other student problems, no, and concerns in the campus. But of course those concerns or those issues or those challenges were actually part of me being molded into becoming a leader in the outside world, kumbaga. Kasi pag campus politics talagang ano pa yan, diba? But practically having that campus, being part of the campus politics would be in a way similar to the actual real world that we are in right now in the corporate world or in the outside world nga sasabi. But it's really more about, again, as I've said, going back to that servant leadership, that that humility, that you being as a role model for everyone, na talagang dapat nandun. Plus the fact that you really have to train your peers or even your subordinates, because dapat again, it is a continuous process. No? Learning is a continuous process. Dapat they also need to learn from you and vice versa, because again, you don't have the monopoly of knowledge, right? And you learn also a lot from your people. So that's why there should be an exchange of ideas, and again, while I may be the Chief Innovation and Inclusion Officer for RCBC, I would say that all employees, regardless of rank, should be an innovator na talagang who would have the capacity and talent and the skills to really ideate and come up with the brightest and even the craziest ideas na talagang out of the box. So I think those are the things that you should, that you should practically share as part of, as part of you being able to impart your experiences or your expertise when it comes to leadership.
Yeah, very nice. Kung mapapansin mo, Lito, yung ating frame, no? Tatlo. These three represents different generations. No? Si Joanna being the youngest, you next, and me, proud third, no? So, and we're talking about something that is very peculiar sa ating corporate setting. I'm talking about, you practically epitomize what is the core values ng Tomasya, no? Yung 3 C's natin: commitment, passion, competence. How is it to work with different generations and still being able to promote your unique kind of value system without imposing, but walking through them and inspiring them? From real experience, ikaw from PLDT, now with RCBC, and even before that, we've already been reading about you in many financial companies. But it's more, ang siguro gusto ko na lang, ano yung experience working with different generations?
I think yung sa, kasi ako, I'm a Gen Xers, no? So Gen X ako, and of course, I think si Joanne, mga millennials, mga Gen Zenners na, etc., no? And now Gen Alpha, etc. So in fact, right now, I'm working with mostly millennials and Gen Zenners. So, and the thing is that, ang lakas magpabata, di ba? Kasi you really have to be working with, practically could work with anyone, regardless of, of age or sex or, or religious, beliefs or, parang kumbaga, dapat, agnostic ka, di ba? So you should not be, you should be inclusive, di ba? Sabi nga natin yung 3 C's natin, di ba? So, yung competence, yung compassion, and yung commitment, di ba? So, talagang dapat nandun siya. When you talk about commitment, talagang dapat yung focus mo, di ba? Na you really have to give your 100%, no, in everything that you do, di ba? Give your competence or your to making sure na talagang you really know what you're doing and you really have to deliver what's expected from you, di ba? So, and those are the things that na sabi ko nga, di ba? You'll be learning from all of this younger generation, especially now. It's a TikTok world, di ba? Na talagang kumbaga, that is where you could actually communicate, well or better in terms of having to relay your message. Diba? Ano ba yung mensahe mo sa publiko? And you have those social media channels that really would be practically not present during our time, diba? But right now, the way messages are being sent or being communicated would just be parang through this social media channels, and it is how you would now leverage these technologies. Ito tatawag ko nga na technology for good, diba? So ano yung how can you leverage on all of these technologies for the betterment of society? Kung alam natin, it's a matter of how you would convert or you would transform technologies or have these technologies go for either good or bad, diba? So dapat nasa sayo rin yun, no? How your values or how your training and your mindset would help you in terms of having to really leverage or optimize or make use of those technologies for the betterment of society. So I think those are the things na talagang you learn also from the younger generation. Kaya sabi ko sa iyo, Henry, working with all of these millennials and siguro millennials, and siguro yung Henry ko yung millennial. feeling millennial. di ba? So the millennials, and Gen Zers, you could really work well with with anyone regardless of generation. So again, for as long as you have the same sense of commitment, dedication, passion, and purpose, you definitely would be able to achieve so many things beyond your expectations.
Thank you, Sir Lito.
Joanna, yes.
And so I would like to repeat what you said earlier. It's very inspiring po for me about transformational and humility is it really comes from the roots of being a Tumashan. For me, having servant leadership transform us to serve and be part of that nation building. It really shows that the Tumashan leader, the training seeks the best outcome and the purpose, whether in everyday life or in every workspace environment, rather than focusing on the impact it may have on the level of power they hold. So now we asked earlier that working with different generations has been a workplace environment these days. As they say, as the world shifts, so should leaders and workers in every sector. So what do you think are the qualities employers are looking for now in their new hires? So you said passion and purpose. So besides that, what are the quality the employer should have?
Definitely yung level of adaptability, no? And flexibility, and your in your imagination, di ba? Kasi most employers nowadays ayaw nila yung dikahon, di ba? So dapat you should be thinking outside the box, di ba? You should challenge the norm, di ba? Kasi if you will always play it safe, hindi rin eh. Diba? Kumbaga parang there will always be risk involved in whatever you do. It is a matter of how you make those calculated risks or how you mitigate those risks, right? But the thing is that the employers nowadays would be looking for talents that would really provide value add, no, to the organization. Dapat hindi ka hindi ka masyadong parang it should be different. No? How do you stand out from the clutter? How would you change the landscape, no? And how do you make yourself different? No? So again, sabi nga natin, what will now be your unique value proposition, di ba? Kasi sa dami-dami ng aplikante, di ba? Anong kaibahan mo? What will make your employer or the one interviewing you or the one who will be getting that talent or hiring that talent make that decision that okay, I want this guy because he or she would bring this value to the organization. So ganun siya, diba? So to the question of Henry before, I had experience of working with both local and international employers. I was with multinational companies as well, like Visa, like the Economist, like the World Bank Group of the IFC. Kumbaga, having to deal not just in various generations, diba? But having to deal with various nationalities, diba? So having to deal with various personalities, various persuasions, or again various iba-ibang mga characters, diba? So but having to really ensure that you have that you will keep those values intact, no, sa iyo, no, talagang you will not compromise, no, about your values. But the thing that going back to your question, na yun yung mga qualities na employers nowadays would really look for from a talent, diba? For a particular candidate. So kasi ngayon very competitive pa rin yung landscape, diba? So again, what will make you different? What is your unique value proposition? And what value could you bring to the organization?
Very nice. One thing also that you epitomize, Lito, is the fact that you're able to put to heart yung work-life balance. You are successfully married with 6 successful children. You're inspired every Sunday. I see you in church, etc. So does it impact in your own work how do you balance? I know you have a beautiful farm. Other than that, what's your ano yung totem balancing mo?
Yeah, kasi alam mo yung iba we've been talking about that work-life balance, di ba? Ano nga ba yung balance na yan, di ba? How do you even quantify that balance? I mean, is it 8 hours din ba sa family, 8 hours din ba sa work? I mean, how do you really put some metrics into into saying na talagang ito yung balance, di ba? Di ba? So, you're right. I mean, I have 6 kids, no? Sabi nga na cheaper by half a dozen. So, and my wife, Tiwi, was my first lady when I was student council president in UST, no? Ano kasi classmate ko siya no, since second year college, no? So, college sweethearts kami hanggang ikasal na kami, di ba? So, ang nagkasal pa sa amin tatlong Dominikano, no? So, kaya sabi ko talagang silyadong Tomasino yung mga nagkasal pa sa amin. So, but going back to the question na talagang your family life would actually help you manage your work, no? And practically your leadership inside your household would also be something of value, especially on how your kids will look up to you as their model. And again, we're so blessed, no, to have this 6 kids, no, to have the 6 children who are very successful, and already have a doctor, a physician, no, a licensed physician. My second son, no, and my first and my third are also now working as well, and my fourth, kasi 3 boys, 3 girls ako eh. Then my fourth is graduating na this year. My fifth is also graduating from college, no, and then my fifth is graduating from grade 12. And then yung bunso ko naman 11 years old is graduating from grade 6, no? So, kumbaga malayo-layo pa rin yung aking dapat magtrabaho pa rin this because I have mga anak na estudyante pa rin, no? But I think yung no, parang as a father, as the head of the family, di ba? Parang and how you manage your household, how you manage your family, how you treat your wife, and how you provide that that comfort or that being a partner for being a father and being a good provider to your kids would definitely redound to your benefit, because it would also impact how you run your business or how you provide that leadership, in the workplace, no? Kaya, and of course you also mentioned, Henry, about yung work kasama sa work-life balance is of course your spirituality, no? And kasi especially nowadays na we've been talking about the rise in mental health issues, mental health concerns, etc. And it's really true, it's valid. I mean, and the awareness as regards mental health issues is something of real concern amongst everyone. And the level of spirituality would practically help you cope up with those challenges, no? Kasi especially during the pandemic, talagang you would feel some of those pressures or some of those, of course, yung mga anxieties, etc. But the thing is that for as long as you have that very strong spirituality and having to really spend time with the Lord, for example, we're serving. Me and my wife are serving as lecture commentators, no, in yung Healing Eucharist, no, sa ABS-CBN. So would really give us that that semblance of parang again fortifying your faith, diba? And having to bring your kids every Sunday to hear the Holy Mass and to offer and to really make sure na you always make your Sunday a blessed day, wherein you gather all your family members, you have your lunch or your dinner together, and really talk about nothing about it's purely about personal, about kamusta ka na, ano nangyari sa iyo, ano development sa iyo, etc. It's really about family, because again it starts and ends with the family. So that's how dapat talagang the family values must further be fortified or strengthened. And of course, thanks again to the Thomasian education, the Thomasian values na we were able to have the training na talagang ang pamilya ang unang-una sa lahat, di ba? So, at yung pagbibigay at yung again, yung ehemplo mo bilang isang ama o isang provider sa mga anak mo, di ba? Because I think sabi ko nga my ultimate trophy in life would be my kids, di ba? So, and that is actually my measure of success, di ba? So, kung ano na yung kinalabasan ng mga anak mo, di ba? So, and I'm very thankful because we're so blessed, no, with this kind of blessing, no, from the Lord. So I think those things, no, that's why dapat talaga you really, despite your busy schedules, I mean, you really have to find time for him because again, kahit anong busy mo, I mean, lahat ng mga yung blessings mo, lahat ng mga kumbaga yung every time I wake up in the morning, I would always say thank you. Buhay pa ako. I mean, di ba? I'm still, nagising pa ako, di ba? So those little, parang gestures of gratitude, no? Dapat, you always have to show that. I mean, not really show, but it's really sa'yo, di ba? Ikaw, kausap mo sarili mo, kausap mo lang siya, di ba? Na parang, thank you, Lord, na nagising pa ako, di ba? Or something. I have my full whole day now today, and I will make sure na I will be productive. Di ba? So, mga ganong tipo. Mga simpleng dasal na talagang it's really effective. So, kumaga unconsciously, kasi it now became a habit. Parang it's now part of your system na without you, having to say na, naku, oras na para sabihin ko, magdasal ako or something. Kasi inherent na sa'yo. Because, again, sabi nga nung aking professor dati sa theology, si mayapang Professor Daig, sabi niya tanong niya sa amin sa theology subject namin, ano daw sa English ano daw sa Tagalog ang habit. Yung habit, di ba? Habit. So sabi niya sa Jolog's translation daw in Tagalog ng habit ay yung sanayness. Yung nakasanayan, di ba? Sanayness. So nasanay ka na, kaya yung habit mo, yun na yung naging habit mo dahil nasanay ka na doon. Kasi that is something na will not be forced upon you na dapat gawin mo because nakasanayan.
Okay.
And
Joanna,
thank you.
tama. Sige,
Yes.
before in a little while, we will be diving in already into the corporate capital, financial world.
Yes.
But in the meantime,
Ayun.
please shoot your question.
Yeah, thank you, Sir Lito, and for sharing your college sweetheart. Yung ika nga, the importance of family and spiritual relationships affect your circles outside your home. So thank you for sharing that. I have siguro last question po, being on Tomasian identity. During your days of being an artlet, we have inculcated this artlet identity that we have. How do you carry out that until now, that the artlet identity with you outside your family and in your work environment?
Alam mo, being an artlet, no, or an AB graduate, no, talagang nakatatak na sa atin, di ba? So, and as an AB graduate, as an artlet, no, ang qualities natin yung talagang we're so vocal, we're so parang parang hindi tayo talagang we always would want to reason out and hindi tayo komportable sa hindi tayo magsasalita, di ba? Na kumbaga we have to argue on some things because we know that we have some ideas contrary to what the other person is trying to say, but it's really more part of the healthy discourse, di ba? Na healthy discussion, di ba? So, kumbaga parang hindi tayo parang that's really part of our training as AD students, no? Na talagang you really reason out, you really have to provide some logic and whatever you discuss with, you are discussing, and to provide some context in everything that you do, no? So I think those things, no. But again, with those qualities, no. Again, part of that, without you being so, without you being so arrogant, without you being so parang disrespectful, nandun pa rin yung humility, di ba? Na kumbaga that's why we are so parang we could really swing, or we could really convert that particular person to your side, no? Because you can really reason out well, and you can really tell your narrative in a very courteous manner na talagang solid, di ba? Na talagang klarong-klaro. So I think those things, no? So talagang I'm very proud to be an ArtLet, to be an AD graduate.
Okay, so thank you very much. So far, just a briefer. Mr. Lito Villanueva, a financial expert, has walked us through yung buhay Tomasino. Two-time president of the AB Student Council is able to bring to fore the values inculcated in us nung tayo mga Tomasian without compromising. And he has shown remarkable ability to blend well with different generations. In fact, ngayon to meron pa tinatawag na pandemic generation, no? And then of all these things. So, which leads now to the point of one of the crux of this conversation is the digital world. Apparently, during the pandemic, bigla nag-blossom yung ating financial consciousness. So nagsulputan ng GCash, Paymaya, etc., different platforms na ngayon ay unti-unti nang tinatangkilik ng sambayan ng Pilipino. Pero kakaiba yung idea na palagi mo pinapropose. You're putting heart to the financial terminologies, ika nga. Imbis na discartec, which reminds me talagang definisyon ng tagumpay ngayon ay hindi lamang IQ, talino, kasama na rin yung EQ, yung puso, pakikisama, at pangatlo yung DQ, yung diskarte. So paano mo naisip yung konsepto ng diskarte para mas ma-appreciate ng masigit na maraming Pilipino, Lito?
Actually, magaling tanong mo, no? Kasi if there's silver lining doon sa pandemya, no? Kung meron, ang magandang na idulot naman ng pandemya, yun nga yung digital adoption of most Filipinos, no, sa bagong teknolohiya, no. And to your question, kung paano ko na ianak o na i-conceive yung Discartec, no. Kasi Discartec is a fusion of two words, no, diskarte at technology, diba? At alam natin na ang mga Pilipino, kahit sa ang mang sulok ng mundo, ang Pilipino parang kabute, di ba? Kahit sa mo itapon na lugar, nagta-thrive, tumutubo, di ba? Because of diskarte, di ba? So kumbaga kahit na sabi nga lang maiksi ang kumot, mamuluktot, di ba? Pero ang Pilipino, pag maiksi ang kumot, talaga ano pa rin, di ba? Go pa rin, di ba? So talagang laban, di ba? So sabi ko nga yung sa diskarte kasi yung di ba yung sabi ko yung journey mo na parang from tiis-tiis yung mga up to diskarte, di ba? Yung kumbaga parang yung financial journey niya na makikita mo yung quality, parang sabi nga na parang lahat ng bagay na pwedeng maisip ng Pilipino, no, creatively, kasi Filipinos by nature are very creative, di ba? So kumbaga nung time nung pandemya, we were supposed to launch the product sometime March of 2020. But it was March 16, 2020 that the first lockdown was declared by Malacanang, no, by the president. So kumbaga hindi namin na-launch yung produkto at that time. So because nga parang totally parang lahat lockdown, no, walang papasok, no one would dare to go to school or to your offices, di ba? And it was really uncertain, di ba? Ano yung next move, next steps. But it took, we took that time to really come up with, to further improve the product even before launching it, because we really had to to discard all the plans prior to the pandemic, because iba na naman yung sitwasyon during the lockdown, no? So it gave us time to really practically change the design of the product and to come up with ways on how to quickly launch it. And we were the only organization in very uncertain times na mag-launch ng produkto in the middle of that uncertainty, no? It was July 2020. Ito nga yung Discardtech, di ba? And we were so surprised because it was, sabi nga natin parang sino yung maglalakas loob na mag-launch ng produkto na in the middle of the pandemic, di ba? In the middle of the lockdown, di ba? But we were pleasantly surprised because it was well received by the public. And in fact, in just a matter of 1 month or less than 30 days, we were able to get over 1 million downloads, no, of Discardtech. And now we're seeing up to 3-digit growth rate insofar as transaction value and transaction volume, di ba? And practically, ito yung kauna-unahan sa Pilipinas na mobile app na in Taglish. So kumbaga, kung nakita nyo kasi yung ibang mga apps in English, di ba? But we know for a fact that one of the barriers to entry is language. Kasi ang Pilipino kasi, talagang ang Taglish talaga is the official language, di ba? Kasi kahit yung mga Pilipino sa Amerika o sa abroad, di ba? Taglish naman talaga, di ba? It's a mix of Taglish and Filipino. But the thing is, after 3 months, we also introduced Cebuano version because it's the second language, no, in the Philippines na spoken by at least 25% of the population. So kung talagang it's really meant to address the needs and requirements of the Filipino. Ito nga sasabi natin you don't need to push for a supply-driven proposition. It must be demand-driven. Kung baga, ano yung kailangan ng tao? Ano yung kailangan ngayon? Diba? So dapat, masagot mo kung ano yung requirements ngayon ng publiko. So we were able to do that. That's why we made it as, hindi man jologs, but it's really conversational. Kaya sabi namin, when we saw some of the social media posts of some of the users, sabi nila na parang the Discardtech app seems to be just talking to them. Kasi nga very conversational. Diba? And the fact is that we are now offering 6.5% interest per annum doon sa pag nag-open ka ng Discardtech account, parang hindi mo na kailangang maglagay ng ipon mo sa alkansya o sa ilalim ng unan mo. You can just put your savings into Discardtech and you will earn 6.5% per annum, no, as interest. So kahit natutulog ka, kumikita yung pera mo, no? And because it's a bank account, no? And the thing is that there's no required initial deposit, no maintaining balance, and no dormancy fee. And your deposits are insured with Philippine Deposit Insurance Corporation or PDIC, no? And the good news as well is that you can also avail of course, yung fund transfers na as low as 8 pesos to any bank or to any wallet. Kung within RCBC naman or Discardtech is free of charge, no? And then you can also avail of insurance for as low as 20 pesos and you're covered for a period of 6 months, di ba? Na kumbaga, kung ano mangyari sa iyo, you have something to cover your family, no? To your relative, or even for yourself, for your medical reimbursement. And, may meron din kaming telemedicine for as low as 50 pesos a month. You can avail of unlimited consultation with licensed physicians or mga doctors, no, any time of the day, no. So I mean, yung mga yon, no, and you could also earn from this yung parang sabi namin yung livelihood, yung pakisuyo services. And in fact, to tell you honestly about this, no, we have quite a number of negosyantes, no. We have the Discardtech and we have the negosyantes naman. Ito yung mga enterprising Filipinos, yung madiscarding Pinoy na making use of Discardtech app in selling e-load, for example, or doing member get member na parang they monetize their contact or their phone directory na or yung Facebook friends nila, in enticing them to enroll with Discardtech. And for every successful referral, they also earn as much as 80 pesos, no, per successful referral. In fact, Henry, there are some of them who would earn as much as 80,000 pesos a month. Ang nakakatuwa nga lang dito, Henry, dahil the Discardtech consumers or users, more than 70% of them are living in the provinces or outside Metro Manila. And about 72% of them are millennials, no? So talagang in kinikater nito, talagang mga unbanked or underserved or even the youth, no? So talagang mga Filipinos who are outside Metro Manila. And you'll be surprised because the way they make use of the app na for their own good, no? Para kikita sila, and they'll be able to help their family. For example, there were cases na at the height of the pandemic, yung kinita niyang 80,000 during the first month, binili niya ng 2 smartphones para sa kapatid niya at para sa kanya because yung online learning nga ng DepEd, di ba? So, kaya nakakatuwa. And then yung iba naman na 30 in Batag, Iloilo, ang kwento naman niya, first time niya to have a bank account and natapos lang niya grade 3 pero 28 years old na siya, no? Grade 3. Kaya sabi niya, hindi siya makaintindi masyado na English, pero because Taglish nga siya at Cebuano kasi nga Iloilo, Bisaya, na-navigate niya yung mga instructions sa mobile app. And you'll be surprised during the time that when we met him, ang kanyang pera sa loob ng Discartec app niya was about 22,000 pesos. Ang tubo niya o interest niya from his savings already reached 700 pesos. Sabi nga niya, "Nako sir, hindi ko naman mapupulot yung 700 na interest na ito kung saan man." Sabi niya, at least ito, yun nga, tumutubo yung pera niya. No? So again, dun sa usapang financial inclusion, this is just our own little way of providing Filipinos, no, a channel or an opportunity for them to be able to be part of the formal financial system. Because Henry and Joanna, this is really part of the BSP or the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas digital payments transformation roadmap. No? So because they have two aims, no, two goals. No? One is to at least convert 70% of financial vehicle transactions into digital, and to onboard a minimum of 50% of adult Filipinos to have formal bank accounts, no, within the year 2023. No? And the good news is that we will be able to achieve those goals this year. So because of, thanks to all the help of all the players in the industry. And again, this is the whole objective is for the Philippines to become a digital economy.
Yeah, napansin ko, Joanna, very intent yung pakikinig bilang isang economics graduate, no? Very
Yes po.
interesting discussion. Share your interesting insight.
Siguro po, I think, first of all, innovation nowadays is really big for every company, especially in this digital world. Now, I just have a few questions lang po now. Now forecasting the Discartec, how will this affect individual Filipinos, specifically the youth sector and their future in the long run? And what's more for Discartec and what's more for those individuals?
Yes, in fact, ang kaganda nito, Joanna, no, Discartec is actually an opportunity for them to be part of the formal financial system. And in fact, we all know that most Filipinos still do not have access to responsive and responsible finance or access to credit. No? Kasi alam natin, most Filipinos, they will still be full victims sa yung mga 5-6 or the mga kapit sa patalim, di ba? Because the very reason for that is wala silang kasing credit history, no? Kasi they are not given the chance to even access that credit and to show that they are worthy for those credit lines or for those credit for their own businesses, di ba? So the good thing with Discartec, it now gives them the chance for them to create their own credit profile or their credit score, and they'll be able to take out loans from Discartec depending on their credit score, no? So kumbaga, this is now an opportunity for them to really build that credit history, the credit profile, so that they will now have that opportunity, that chance to access those credit and finance their own businesses, no, their enterprising ventures, no. So I think this is part of that ecosystem play in making sure that the outcomes, no, the social impact that it now provides to community would be felt, di ba? Kasi nakita namin talaga na, we've seen a lot of people who have really benefited, no, from Discartec. In fact, to Discartec, we were also tapped by government in distributing the social amelioration program grants, no, to about 6.5 million families, no, and that would translate to something like more than about approximately 30 million individuals, no, benefiting from that disbursements coming from Discartec. Of course, the funds coming from government. And that is something of value for us because we we were given the chance to become instruments, no, of digitally disbursing those needed funds to vulnerable individuals, especially at the height of the pandemic.
Lito, what are the challenges for you to be able to level up this Kartik? Na kailangan, I think you were able already to dispel, no, yung takot sa pagdalagay sa o yung banking, yung financial, ano. Essentially kasi ang Pilipino, gaya ko, nung panahon namin, wala namang financial literacy subject eh. Kaya ang dami mga one-day millionaire, no? Pero with this nangyari nung pandemya, nagkaroon opportunity na ma-redefine o ma-hasten. Iba, papunta na tayo dyan before the pandemic eh. But the pandemic hastened this digitalization. But I know very well that with ano yung mga sterling blockades na meron pa para talaga ma-level up?
Actually, tama ka doon, no, Henry. Meron pa rin talagang mga for some Filipinos, no, na talagang they're still hesitant to try on going digital, di ba? Kasi because of those fears na naku, baka mawala yung pera ko, o baka ma-fraud ako, or baka ma-hack yung mobile or whatever, di ba? So of course those fears are legitimate, di ba? But again, part of being regulated by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, part of our mission is really to provide that financial education or financial literacy amongst Filipinos, especially in terms of providing that security. Kasi alam mo, Henry, in all the surveys, no, in most cases kasi, in fact, yung sa mga fraud, di ba? Sometimes ang root cause ng mga fraud na yon minsan yung customers themselves eh. Kasi there's, alam mo, I think you've read that in the newspapers na yung iba nabubudol, di ba, na binibigay nila yung one-time PIN, yung one-time password, di ba, na that's why if you notice in some of the a lot of SMS alerts or SMS messages, no, na binibigay ng advisory ng mga bangko, na tagang never ever share your one-time password or your one-time PIN, di ba, or never share your bank accounts to whoever, di ba? Kasi that is something sacred to you na ikaw lang dapat makakaalam yan. Eh sometimes yung iba namang yung ibang mga Pilipino, yung mga customers, talagang nami-text lang sa kanila na kailan merong problema sa bank account mo, ibigay mo sa akin yung OTP mo or whatever, diba? So, and they share that, no? So dapat first and foremost, never share your one-time password or never share your account numbers with anyone or yung mga any details about your financial account, di ba? So kumbaga, even yung there were cases pa nga na sa ATM card, di ba? Nilalagay, dahil baka makalimutan nila yung PIN, nilalagay nila yung PIN nila sa likod ng ATM card nila. So pag nawala yung ATM card nila, alam na yung nagnakaw ng kanilang wallet, yung ATM, yung PIN number niya, because nakasulat sa likod, di ba? So yung mga ganun tipo. So I think that's why part of our advocacy, part of our mission is really to educate the public regarding security.
Which brings us to mind na talaga ang digital, para sa education, ang digital is only a platform. So sinasabi namin sa aming mga guro, kailangan digital lang yan. Kailangan high-tech ka na, high-touch ka pa. So I think that's the aspect of education you have given our Filipino people, that you're able to Filipinize, no, from a highfalutin terminology, this Kartek, and now you have translated it to different languages. So maganda kasi it's form of educating. So it will demystify yung takot ng mga tao. And eventually, when it becomes part of our culture, mas magiging aware na ang ating mamamayan na talagang pangalagaan ang kanilang pinaghirapan na kita. Joanna?
Yes. Actually, sorry, just to add to that, no, Henry.
Yeah, please.
Sa usaping security, no, meron akong acronym dyan eh. Ang acronym ko dyan, trust, di ba? Kasi trust is a commodity. No? Trust is your currency, no, in terms of having to ensure na yung comfort, no, level of comfort ng mga consumers mo nasa sayo, di ba? Sabi ko, ang trust could be defined as technology that is responsive, universal, safe, and transparent. Trust. Oo. Yung sa trust may USD doon.
Yes.
Yun yung acronym ko sa trust. Oo.
I trust you.
Yes.
Yes.
Speaking of trust, that's actually my next question po. But before that, besides driving financial literacy awareness focused programs and policies, we are lucky to have this opportunity such as this Kartik that provides services like this. So now do you think we are now facing a digital inclusive world, and of course this affects our future. Now with all of these digital innovation, as you said, we have this trust gap that still exists and it's hard to embed. How does this Kartik deal with this certain trust gap with the users and consumers?
Again, that's why yung again that the one that will address those gaps would be again education, di ba? And the sense and that purpose of inclusion, di ba? Na kumbaga dapat walang maiiwan, dapat kasama lahat, kasama ka, di ba? So kumbaga that's the whole proposition of this Kartik, di ba? Kasi that's why we made it in Taglish, we made it in Cebuano, and in the future we will be translating that in various languages like Hiligaynon, Bicolano, Ilocano, Kapampangan, etc. Diba? Because the very purpose of this Kartik is really to educate, for you to learn the basics, diba? And for you to be able to understand the message as simple as possible. Diba? Kasi it's not for us to to impress you or to wow you kasi with with highfalutin, sabi nga nila, with highfalutin words or kumbaga English ka na English na mga ang lalalim ng English mo pero hindi ka mo maintindihan. It's not in that particular case, you are not a successful communicator kasi hindi ka maintindihan ng kabila, di ba? Hindi ka maintindihan ng audience mo. Because for you to become a successful communicator, dapat naiintindihan ka nung kinakausap mo, di ba? At dapat sasagot din sila sa iyo kasi kung naiintindihan ka nila, dapat yung diskurso nyo healthy, that may exchange of ideas.
Yeah.
So that's really the very essence of or the very purpose of this Kartik. Parang again to address the language barrier, to be able to quickly and easily communicate to the target market, and at the end of the day be able to make the users embrace the technology because that technology is really meant for them. That's why sabi nga natin digital is not the end all and be all. Digital is not the manna from heaven. It is just a tool by which you could provide more services that would cater to everybody regardless of social economic class. So and the thing is parang sabi nga tawag dyan digital, physical digital. It's a fusion of hybrid physical digital blended banking experience because people would still need to be guided as to paano gamitin ang mobile app, ano ipipindutin mo, ano ang gagawin nyo, etc. So it's really more of having that. Alam mo kasi Pilipino, we're so tactile, we're so, alam mo yun, gusto pa natin meron tayong kausap na ganito ba ginagawa nyo. So meron ka pa rin, sabi nga ni Henry, high touch, high tech yet high touch, So high tech ka, yes, pero high touch ka pa rin na talagang dapat you still communicate with them, say in person or someone who would be teaching them or guiding them on how to navigate the app.
Wow. Alam mo, kulang na kulang ang ating oras, Lito. Pero nonetheless, I'm so happy na, alam mo, Joanna, this is a priceless conversation.
Yes.
Kasi habang nagsasalita si Lito, pinagmamasta ko niyang demeanor, yung kanyang action, gestures, etc. Walang magbabago. Simula na nakilala kita, Lito, 20 years ago, ganyan ka pa rin. Ang itsura mo, batang-bata pa rin. Kaya ang sarap pumarkada sa mga bata. Kaya reflection din niya kahit paano ng ating ang ating disposition sa buhay. So magtatapos na tayo, Joanna, at any final para bago natin ibigay ang ating final shots.
Actually, that's all we got, Dean Henry. We actually prepared a lot of questions, but I think due to time constraint, we have to stop here. But we have the time for you, Sir Lito, for your closing message. If you have any message for everyone who is joining us right now, watching us live today, feel free to do so.
Okay. Again, thank you so much, Henry, Joanna, for having me this afternoon. No? Of course, I think we're being watched by Thomasians in various parts of the world. No? Again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. And of course, to Ma'am Evelyn Songko and to Ms. Ida Tionco and to all the people in the background, no, in the mga the tech people who are part of this event, of this this regular online webinar. So I think again, this is again one of the very few moments na I'm very proud to be a Thomasian. No? So siguro ang aking apila lang to all my fellow Thomasians na parang again to give time and give back that glory and that honor to our dear alma mater, UST. Kasi especially in having to, I think one thing that we can show or manifest that gratitude is on how we could be agents of change, on how we can put some value to what we are doing and provide that social impact, and provide that change, positive change in society. So I think the education, the learnings, the values that we got from UST would definitely define who we are, especially dealing with anyone, regardless of age, of sex, or personality or affiliation. We would always be a transformational leader, someone who would always be humble in terms of providing that, sharing that knowledge that we have, and having to also learn from those people we encounter in our everyday lives. Again, thank you, and mabuhay ang Tomasino.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, indeed, a leader with a value-driven purpose. That is Lito Villanueva for you. Since time, he was twice elected as president, and now in the world of financial technology, has been very creative, innovative in his ways, both inside and outside of work. An epitome of a true Thomasian, exemplifying the core values of commitment, competence, and compassion. So, Lito will be part of the group of successful alumni who shall be sharing more inspirational and aspirational insights. When is this, Joanna?
Yes, this will be on March 18, 2023. It is our upcoming AB Grand Alumni Homecoming.
Yeah, it is not a typical fellowship type of an alumni homecoming, but later it will be a learning activity. The whole afternoon will be devoted into two parts. The first part will be the legacy projects designed by batches 69, 73, and another batch, Adopt a Scholar, AB Scholar. And then the part two will be, we have invited Lito being one of them, successful alumni who will share their success stories, both highlights and challenges of how to really penetrate the consciousness of our different industries with that unique Thomasian identity. Okay, so once again, Joanna, here you go. In bridges, remember, in bridges, as what our president, Evelyn Songko, would always say, we don't build walls, but we build bridges of hope, faith, and love. So maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Joanna, I'll give you the final word.
Yes, we hope you had a great time. Thank you again, Sir Lito. On behalf of the UST Alumni Association, I would like to express our gratitude for your participation and your contributions to making this event a success. And we look forward to seeing you again on March 18 and our future events for sure. To everyone who's watching, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook page and YouTube channel. And I wish you a good night ahead, and we'll definitely see you soon.
Okay.